Hello, everyone. My name is Laura Riazzi, and I serve Gannon's Career Exploration and Development Department as a Career Advisor and Outreach Coordinator. We're connecting in this session to discuss professional resume writing as you may be preparing to submit job applications. We'll first discuss proper resume formatting, move into writing its content, and wrap up with showing you a great handshake resource and how you may be able to follow up with a career advisor to have a one-on-one advising session about your resume. So what is a resume? A resume offers you the chance to articulate your activity in the classroom, in clinical and fieldwork experiences, in co-curricular activities, and professional engagements with the aim to provide an organization insight to your accomplishments, all with the mindset to market yourself as their ideal candidate. For each of the items that you write in your resume, approach it with the frame of mind as, what would the employer want to know about me? Or why should they hire me? The first thing about your resume formatting is to begin using a blank Word document. While using a template is attractive because it provides nice colors, images, and does provide some ease, submitting resumes through applicant tracking systems that are often used by organizations for their open positions can cause problems. The software and coding used in templates, both in Word and in online generators, can cause issues with the applicant tracking system being able to read your document. If the system cannot read your document appropriately, it could assume that the information that it's looking for isn't there, thereby rejecting your application. As a graduate or terminal degree seeking student, your resume may be up to 2 pages. If you are writing a 2-page resume, make sure that the second page is at least halfway filled with content. In addition, your resume should not provide any images or colors. Let your actions speak louder than the font. In fact, you should be typing with a black professional font like Times New Roman, Calibri, or Arial, an 11 or 12-point font. Other than your header, the size of your font must be the same throughout your resume. The only formatting that should be present in your resume is the use of bullet points and consistently bolding, italicizing, or underlining your font. The consistent formatting greatly organizes your resume. For example, I like to bold the name of any organization I refer to in my resume, as well as italicize any role or title to which I hold or have held. For every entry, you must include the dates in which you participated in them, including the month and the year for each entry. These dates should be on the right-hand side of your resume and all align on the same vertical margin. Aligning the dates is easily accomplished through using the Tab key on your keyboard in a Word document. Speaking of margins, your resume should have the same margin surrounding the document and can be anywhere between 0.7 of an inch to 1 inch. For your header, it should include your name and having it stand out a little bit more than the rest of your text. This may be accomplished by typing your name in a larger text as large as a 22-point font and can be in all caps and/or bolded. The other 2 elements of your resume should be your phone number that is easiest to use to access you, as well as a professional style email address that you check every day. It's okay to use a Gmail address in lieu of your Gannon address so long as it's frequently checked and sounds professional, like your first and your last name. You don't need to include your physical address, as a recruiter will first contact you through phone or email. Now that we've covered resume formatting basics, let's discuss your resume's content. The first thing that you'll want to do is place your content into their appropriate sections in order to organize your experiences. Each section must include a section header that stands out from the rest of your text, like bolding, underlining, and/or writing it in all capital letters. Whichever aesthetics that you prefer from these options is okay. Just make sure that you're consistent throughout your resume by writing your section headers the same style throughout your document. Here, I've provided a list of common graduate section headers, including education, which will always be the first section underneath your header, work experience, campus engagement, volunteer experience, fieldwork or clinical experience, leadership, research, and academic projects. You can see an example of how your education section may be written. You will notice that each entry lists the name of the college or university, its city and state, the year in which you have or will graduate, and your official degree titles. You may include your cumulative GPA if you've achieved a 3.0 or above. As everything in your resume must be something that you've completed while being a student in higher education, you will not include your high school information. None of your entries should include information about accomplishments and experiences that you've received prior to your undergraduate experience. This is also the area that you can mention academic accomplishments that can include Dean's List, relevant coursework, scholarships, and thesis titles. For the other sections, you will include the name of the organization or activity, where the experience happened or is happening, the months and the years of your involvement, and the appropriate title for your role in the experience. Remember that your title is a proper noun and should be capitalized. For each of your sections, you must list your experiences in reverse chronological order based on start date. This means that per each section, the activity that you began most recently will be at the top and least recently toward the bottom. You can disregard the end date or whether you're still participating in the activity. Remember the consistent formatting. If you're bolding the name of organizations in one section, continue to do so throughout the remaining ones. Last, and certainly not least, is addressing your bullet points. Each of your bullet points must include information about the tasks and responsibilities that you have or have had while engaging in an experience. Each bullet point must describe an action or accomplishment-driven activity. When I share that something is accomplishment-driven, I don't mean that you received an award. What I mean is that something was accomplished because you did that particular task. Each bullet point must begin with an action verb in the appropriate tense. If you're writing about a current involvement, your action verbs must be in the present tense. If you're writing about something in the past, write that action verb in the past tense. When writing each bullet point, think, what would a recruiter want to know about me? To address this question, consider the concepts of how, why, and impact of each of these accomplishment-driven tasks. The how can be a soft skill, like collaborating, leading, organizing, or researching. It can also be the use of a software system, procedure, process, piece of equipment, or tool. It's important that these hows are not vague, as your knowledge of these pieces may offer you a competitive advantage. When addressing the why, think, why is this task important? This gives you the opportunity to show the relationship between the task and the greater good, like why it's important to patients, colleagues, the community, or an organization. Now the impact. Remember how we're writing about accomplishment-driven tasks? The impact is the accomplishment. The impact addresses the outcome or result of your action. Quantifying helps your bullet points too. If you can provide numbers, percentages, or dollar amounts, that makes your description more vivid to a reader in a very short space. For as descriptive as I'm asking you to be with your bullet points, ensure that you are writing concisely. No bullet point should be beyond 2 lines of text. If you find yourself writing beyond that, question yourself if you can separate that thought into multiple, shorter bullet points. If not, consider rewording the phrase to share the same thought more concisely. Your bullet point should not include any pronouns like I, me, and we. In addition, they're not sentences, so you do not need to use periods to end each brief fragment. As you begin to write or revisit your resume, I want to share a resource with you that you may be able to access on Handshake that can offer you examples of how to format your resume. You'll begin by logging into Handshake at gannon.joinhandshake.com. Just give me a moment as I'm able to bring up Handshake. All right. So when you head over to gannon.handshake.com, you'll be able to log in with your Gannon email address and your network password. So you already have an account created for you. When you log in, click on the Career Center up here. So it's toward the top right side. And then we're going to click on Resources, which is right down here toward the bottom left side of the screen. All right, so we can scroll down the list of on-demand resources and head to the Resumes and CV Resources folder. And then when we look at attachments over here on the left side left side menu, we can click Graduate Program Example Resumes. And the PDF that opens will show you example resumes of a variety of graduate disciplines at Gannon University. To conclude, Career Exploration and Development Career Advisors look forward to working with you to build and improve your resume as you begin preparing for job applications. To schedule a one-on-one resume session, please send us an email to career@gannon.edu with your availability, and we will connect you with a career advisor who will work with you through articulating your phenomenal experiences as a Gannon graduate student in your resume. We are available to connect with you Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We look forward to hearing from you soon.